Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back. It's been a while. Welcome back to Clumsy Flying. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh my goodness. It feels like forever since we've last flown. And yes, I'm pretty rusty. So be forewarned. But we'll still try to enjoy. Try to do our best. And we'll see. Because today we have Sim Update 6. And I was planning to do this yesterday, but the Microsoft Azure servers did not agree with that plan. The servers were fully down the entire morning, my morning, yesterday, when I was planning to stream, so I couldn't even update the game. But here we are now. Hope it keeps up. Anyway, let's go and say hi first to everybody. Thank you for joining. Who do we have? Scotsman. First indeed. How's the training going? Moo Calvin. Did you join Jack in the convoy today? Did you guys have a convoy or you couldn't join? I was catching up on updating the sim. Lots of mods to update as usual. How's it going, Tichir? Thanks for joining. Glad you found the stream. How did you find it, by the way? If you don't mind me asking. APDX. More trains? What's that thing? WCL got delayed. Is that a route in the UK? I know there was something that's releasing that I have not been able to keep up. Hey Tom. Yes, glad you made it, Patrick. Thanks for joining. Lots of bugs that have been reported. That's good to hear. Hey Alex. Thanks for making the stream. This drives just like a train. Close enough. Yes, indeed. Okay, good. Rivet's new UK route. Ah, indeed, UK route. West Cornwall local. There you go. That's the one. Oh, game-breaking bug. Well, it's good they decided to pull it instead of pushing for a premature release, right? Move to your new apartment. Congrats. Do you like it? They can't pull the console release. It's already been submitted. Ah, I see. That's what you meant by that. I see. Hey, Bunky. Thanks for making the stream. It's been a while, right? Sorry for the lack of Flight Simulator content, guys. But here we are. We are back at it again. I hope to be able to do more of these again. But yes, let's go and check out Sim Update 6. By the way, Bunky, how's Sim Update 6 treating you? Have you been able to fly since? Let's go and check out the release notes. And I'm really happy with Microsoft, with Asobo, with what they've done here. Because they've really stepped up the release notes. This is what I've been wishing for ever since. Because before, the release notes were very vague, were very basic. And it did not include every single fix. And to me, that felt like a disservice to the developers, right? They worked so hard to fix some bugs and it wouldn't even get mentioned. It would be just sneakily getting updated. But now, it seems like they have turned a new leaf because with these release notes, and this has actually been available since the start of the beta testing and all these details. So I'm just going to scroll just so we can see, right? That's how long the patch notes are. Each one of these rows, bullet points, are fixes or new features in one section of the game or another. So, yes, quite massive. Quite massive. Not everything will be applicable to us, but still, all of those have been worked on hard by the team. So it's amazing. But we'll see for ourselves how that translates to the experience overall, if you can even notice it. Sounds neat, Tom. Hope you're enjoying it. Updating yours currently. Yeah, yesterday when I was updating, I got that. I shared it in Discord, that connection lost thing. Very weird, very frustrating. So here we are, one day late. Blame Asobo, right? Hey, Merwaz. Long time no see. How's it going? How's Update 6 treating you? Sim Update 6, that is. Wrong developer. Yes. So yes, let's have a look. And I wanted to try the caravan, the Cessna 208, because I've been seeing a couple of items for it. Let me have a look. First, let me highlight some of the things that I really like. And I know some of you guys feel the same way. I would want to look at that. So there is this fix, right, with the fixing of the lights. Very small thing, but really important. And we had a mod that improved, that was a workaround to add those lights again. Basically, you have aircraft, you have AI aircraft flying, but you couldn't see them because they had no lights on. Even at night, you couldn't see anything. So it felt like you were alone even if you weren't. Right? Couple of bug fixes with the altimeters, with the QNH. I don't quite get exactly the details there. There's a lot of physics fixing as well. I've also heard reports that the ground taxiing is much better. I'm not sure if that came into play. I believe there is also should be now a proper ground effect. Maybe it should be more felt now. Like you float when you get closer to the ground. You feel that lift. So we'll see how that's working. One thing I wanted to highlight, and I can't see it right now. Oh, this one also is important. Before, we were slowing down. Your airspeed was slowing down when you were entering clouds. It shouldn't be that way. So they've made that much less, 10 times less than before. But there was something about lights. For ultra-wide and 4K screens, something like that. That there were blurry lights. I have been encountering that for the longest time. Glad that they fixed it. So let's see, I think basically if you have a bigger than 1080 resolution, you would have that issue. The helicopters don't feel sticky anymore, so lift off. Oh, even helicopters have been affected positively. Ground handling overall is better. Nice. Great. Freeport and FA-80 next month. Oh, is that part of the Game of the Year update? Ultra 400 LOD and it works fine so far. Ah, great to hear. That's one of the big updates as well. Anyway, I won't go through all the details here, but let me maybe look at the 208, this guy. So a couple of small changes, but makes it more accurate with the turboprop, the engine. So you have the turboprop condition lever implementation. Because the way it's not a mixture lever, right? Even if it's colored red, if you look at the interior, over at here, that guy, even though it's red and looks like a mixture knob, it's the oh, you can't see what I'm looking at, can you? That one. So that knob right there is the condition lever, and there's like a low and a high, like a cut off, a low and high setting. You use one for each phase of the flight, if I remember correctly. So they added that here now, this condition lever implementation. So it should have a difference now, but we'll see if it really does. And then also the checklist was modified. I actually was hoping a bit more for the checklist because I loaded the game a while ago, this plane, and it didn't seem like there was much there yet still. So it still looked very raw. But anyway, we'll see. We'll start with a caravan and then we'll jump to other planes as we see fit. But we're more open format today, just checking things out. I also heard that the night lighting got improved immensely, so I want to try that out. Whoa, look at that. And yeah, less blurry. Yes, even if you're not using ultra wide, if your resolution is larger than 1080, I think it will blur out the lights before. So let's see. Looking forward to it, Murwas. It comes with the DirectX 12 implementation, I believe, right? And Dom, you might be happy with this because we will be finally flying in Wyoming. Because I want to check out Jackson Hole. You know, we've been looking for this airport in ATS for the longest time. We couldn't. I don't think it's there. But it should be in the same vicinity, right? Jackson is where I am, my garage in ATS. And then we have this road right here, I believe. Is it this one? I think maybe it's this one, this road right here, right? Maybe. Coming from Jackson, going north. If you go straight, you'll get onto the Yellowstone National Park, was it? Yeah, Yellowstone, maybe that's it. Maybe. This one? But over here, you have the... What do you call this again, Alex? Grand Teton National Park, the mountains. And we'll see that right as we load into the airport. So, without further ado, let's go and check it out. Right there. Ramp GA medium, and yes, some of the small fixes have been implemented finally. History on the airports, the latest airports that you've flown in, it works again. Small things that got destroyed, that got bugged out with Sim Update 5 have been fixed. The tail number I think updates properly now again, November 1 Charlie Lima, just so we can make it work. And let's see. How do they call themselves? If you're flying a caravan, how do you report to ATC? Do you tell Caravan 1 Charlie Lima or something like that? But let's maybe go with Caravan here. Otherwise, they might call us Cessna. So we'll see. That works. The globe loads stuff faster too. Nice. You prefer it over the Caravan? Yeah, I don't. I have very limited number of planes in my hangar. But yes, I wanted to try the... Oh, it's getting dark. Let's maybe make it a bit lighter. Maybe start at 4 p.m. I do want to check out the default planes, see how much they improved it. And then we can jump on to the third-party planes to see if anything got affected. Grand Teton National Park. There you go. Thanks, Alex. Yes, finally, Tom, right? Finally. Me too, super excited. One of the prettiest national parks in the US. Okay, we'll explore it then from above this time. So we'll do VFR, and I actually have ATC on, default ATC, because I saw when I was browsing, when I was skimming through the release notes, I saw a lot of ATC improvements. So we'll see how much those improvements are. Will be detailed just like the JF arrows and whatnot. Deep systems detail and the beta descent is real cool. The Porter, what kind of plane is it? Is it like you know what, actually let me just look it up. Milviz Porter PC6. Ah, yes, I think I remember. Let me show you what I'm looking at. This guy. Yes. 39.99. No, this is P3D, isn't it? But it should be the same plane, just on a different sim. Stall. Is it a tail dragger? This one, PC6 for MSFS 2020. PC6 Turbo Porter. Ah, nice. I would love to load it, but the website doesn't seem to agree with me right now. Okay, we'll check it out next time. Thanks. It does look like it has a similar frame, similar appeal with the Caravan. Good. So, you might be seeing in front of you now, right? Grand Teton National Park. There it is, guys. Immediately. Like so. There it is. Beautiful. Now I do want to set up something. So let me go back to controls and let me turn on my controller. Be warned, you might hear a lot of turning on and off of USB devices because the controller will turn on and off. Like that. Don't worry, that's just me, okay? So let's see. Alpha flight controls minus 25%. I do want to set something up here. I want to set an ATC hotkey. ATC. Display ATC. Use this button so I can easily report in as like so. There you go. Okay, good. And then the checklist. There you go. Okay. And then the view 1, view 2 kind of works ish. Pilatus, short takeoff and landing aircraft. Indeed, the stall thingies. Put cargo and passengers in the plane. Oh, nice. Where we are in Jackson Hole in Wyoming. I've been looking for this airport for the longest time in 80s. Oh my goodness. But I keep missing it. But now we have it. We have it. Let's go and light up the panels a bit. They also fixed some small things. You know, when you're moving the camera and then the mouse moves to the upper left or even disappears. They fixed that. It's not there anymore. It's always intact, which is great. Okay, let's go through the checklist, see if it's working. Yes, fuel selector. It's a very basic checklist, but it should be enough to get us going on the air, I think. Engine selectors normal. Should be somewhere here. This one, I believe. Okay, that's the one. Normal indeed. Power lever is idle and prop RPM. That's working. RPM is there. Good. Now this should be in cutoff, I believe. Right? In the beginning. So let's do that. Idle, max RPM. This is normal as well. Looks good. Yeah. Kilo Juliet Alpha Charlie K-Jack. ETS2 real economy mod, and the start is kind of painful. Oh, yes, I tried that at one point. It is very painful. It's too hardcore for me, those economy mods. Some people really like it though, but you have to be really playing a lot to make it worth it. Right, beacons are on. Let's check if the lights are working. They are. We should have live traffic right now. I did see a while ago when I loaded up the sim, there was someone flying through here. But right now there is no one. Okay, it's fine. IRL, there is no actual Jackson Hole as a town. It's just a valley outside of Jackson, Wyoming. Come again, Alex? What? There's no actual Jackson Hole as a town. It's just an airport. So this entire thing, there should be no town in front like that, is it? So that Autogen might not be wrong. There is no town of Jackson Hole, but there should be a Jackson, is it? Okay, good. Let's start it up. Battery beacon avionics number 1 would be this guy. And yes, we have the G1000 NXI from working title. Has been updated for Sim Update 6 as well. Looking pretty fancy. Looking pretty sleek with synthetic vision and everything. Fuel boost. Turn that on. You can hear it. Starter switch must be set to on. Over here. There you go. Then we wait for NG. NG, I'm not sure which part, but maybe 13%. Put it to low idle. We should see the ITT rising, and then it should lower and stabilize. It looks pretty cold actually. I would have expected that to be much hotter. Cool, but that was an easy one. Alright. And I think we're good there. So starter can go off now. And then fuel boost can be normal. And then we can turn on avionics too. And that's it. After that, we're on our own. It was a big update to the NXI. Yeah, I saw the RNAV approaches. So maybe we can try that, because I remember we tried that in Germany when we were flying in Germany with World Update 6, was it? The RNAV approaches weren't working quite yet. Jackson Hole is north of Jackson, and it's a valley among the Grand Teton Mountains. Ah, okay, I get you. I get you now. So there, Jackson Hole is different from Jackson. I see. I get what you mean now. So Jackson is a town, is a city, North of it is Jackson Hole, but that is not a town, it's just a valley. A valley with an airport like this. So we shouldn't see those like houses and whatnot maybe. I see. Makes sense. Okay. Now what do we have to do? Parking brake, strobes, and parking brake really is not really that useful. Now I do need my references. Rotation speed is 70 knots. VY is 95 knots. Okay. And do we need flaps for takeoff? I would imagine so. We should have the takeoff flaps right here. There you go, takeoff. We hear it. We also have those markers for what the maximum flap extension speed is. So 150 knots, that should be okay. Where is it that the flap settings are indicating? I don't think we have such a thing. We just have to look outside and see. Yeah, those are indeed set. Controls. Are controls free and correct? Well, we have to put the yoke in for that. I love the lighting. Even the shadows, look at this, guys. Simple things. If you push on the yoke, you actually see kind of the shadow of the yoke against the panel, right? As the yoke gets closer, the shadow gets more intense. Those little details I really like. Man, the graphics is amazing. Okay. Controls. I hear the rudder. Is it working? Yes, it is. Good. Alright. Looking good. Now I imagine we would need the condition lever here to be on high. Is it what you call it? So condition lever, let's have a look at that. High, yes, indeed. Okay, so it's low when you're on the ground. I think before takeoff we set that to high. Something like that. The airport is called Jackson Hole Airport, largest and busiest commercial airport in Wyoming. A Moose, Wyoming. I like the sound of that. Okay, let's have a look at the map where we are, and I want to have a look at the airport as well. So let's get Navigraph in here. That's where we are. Actually, where do we want to go? Now we'll worry about that later. Actually, we'll just fly VFR for now. Alright, let's see. And then let's work with ATC to see how that works. So ATIS is 120.625. And we have ground, we have tower. Although tower, there's an asterisk there. And then on the ground, so it looks like there are periods where we don't have these frequencies. It's not 24/7. And I guess during that time, it's going to be like a Unicom or a CTAF. Alright, so yes, let's see how that looks. Now, how is the weather looking like? We do see the windsock on the right side. Well, I see it. I think it's kind of hidden in your view. But it is pointing to the right. So it looks like it's runway 19. That's going to be for our takeoff. So we'll need to taxi all the way. Taxiway Alpha. And then turn left on runway 19er. Thanks for the follow, teacher. Appreciate that. Other mods have been updated too. Yes, I have updated the G3000 and the CJ4 as well. We can go and fly the TBM in the CJ4 later on. Although I've heard the TBM has a few bugs, a few irritating bugs, like the master caution or the master warning light. You're not able to acknowledge and disable it until you actually start the engine. So it's irritating if you're starting from cold and dark. Okay, let's see. Let's try that out, and let me put this on the left side so I have a reference. Let's try tuning into it, see if we hear anything. 120.65, 625, 625. Good. Let me get my notepad ready and we'll take notes. Switch.
Jackson Airport Information Golf 22000 Zulu. Wind 199er at 10. Visibility 10. Sky condition 4,100 feet scattered, 12,100 feet scattered.
Scattered.
Temperature 10. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.19er. ILS Yankee runway 19er in use. Landing and departing runway 19er. VSR aircraft, say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller, on initial contact, you have Gulf.
You have Golf. Nice. Let's go and tune into 124. This is 0.55. 124.55.
Visibility 10.
They seem to have changed the sound a bit. They made it a bit more gruffier, more radio-like. I think they increased that effect. It did seem like it changed. What I'm really happy about was when they mentioned it, and it's part of the fix. There was a bug before, and I think Tom is aware of this. They always say that they always said in the previous updates that the sky condition was clear, or was few clouds at this, few clouds at that, even if it looked completely different outside. So yeah, it wasn't really accurate. But here, at least they are saying something already, right? So that's a very promising thing there. Let's hear again. I'm interested in the cloud layers.
Wind 199er at 10. Visibility 10.
Oh, where is the cheer? Ask away.
4,100 feet scattered, 12,100 feet scattered. Temperature 10. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.19er. ILS Yankee runway 19er in use.
ILS Yankee 19er. Yeah, this is interesting. So we have actually 1010 here, which is a good sign that visibility might go down very soon. This is like fogging or mist when the temperature and dew point meet. But interestingly, it's still 10 miles here, the visibility. And outside, yeah, we can see clearly. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's just one of those things that boggle us at the moment. Well, we'll continue observing it. Alright, 3019er. So once we set this, we'll compare the elevation. So we are getting 6520 and the chart is saying, actually it's not very, no, it's good enough because the airport elevation based on the chart is 6451. So it's close enough. We'll take it. Yes. And then we'll see what altitude we'll need to get to. The X12 and weather update. I heard about the X12. I'm not sure about weather update. What are they going to change there? Change the heading to be aligned with the runway. Runway 19er is 187 degrees. Ooh, that's fast. 187. That guy. Okay, good. Oh, Murwaz is here. Look at that. We can actually even hear him. Fancy. What plane is that? Is that the Arrow? Yeah, by the way, how's the Arrow treating you, Murwaz? I've read some bug reports about it, but I'm not sure if it's just pilot error. Okay. Next question. Where is the parking brake? I think it's this guy. Okay, looks good. See if we can go forward here. This is taxiway Alpha. Let's go ahead and request taxi actually. That's my controller. Don't mind that. Why did it turn off so fast? Maybe it's out of batteries. So let's depart to the north maybe.
Jackson Ground, Cessna November 1 Charlie Lima with Golf request taxi to the active departure to the north.
Cessna November 1 Charlie Lima taxi to and hold short of runway 19er via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118.075 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 19er using taxiway Alpha Cessna 1 Charlie Lima.
It's already also tuned into the tower, so we just need to switch it to it. 118.075. This is one of my hopes that we finally get a decent ATC, so we won't have to use third-party tools. And as great as those third-party tools are, when something is built in, it can really beat the consistency of that. There we go. You guys okay with the volume of the engine? Oh, look at that. Love the sounds. Ground handling feels very good so far. Actually using my rudder pedals here to steer. And I can really feel the difference. Let's hope that during takeoff you also feel that very well. I love it. Hey Isidore, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you guys doing? Man, look at that view. We should take a photo later. Once we get stable on the air, maybe we can take some photos. The clouds aren't very friendly looking though. We'll try and steer away from the clouds because we're flying VFR. But no promises. We'll see. Fuel quantity is all in the middle. Let's do a gumps check. I think even on takeoff you can do a gumps check. Gas, yes. Undercarriage, yes. Mixture, not yet. Props full. Switches. Let's turn on taxi lights. Yes, that's what one I forgot. So we have the taxi lights here. Taxi lights there, right? As we get on the runway, we will also turn on our landing lights and the strobes. Nav lights, let's turn that on. Let's see if that's working outside. Yes, we do have those green and red lights now. Good. So even the Arrow got a nice improvement on the ground handling, because I remember that is one of the main complaints with the Arrow. A lot of people have a hard time taking off because the ground handling during takeoff is so fidgety. You have to have the perfect rudder application and even some aileron deflection just so it wouldn't swerve like crazy. Is this a run-up point? Looks like it, huh? Yeah, actually it's just the icing pad, this area right here. So this is maybe where they put in the chemicals and whatnot. Can imagine, because this airport, guys, if you noticed, it's pretty high up. 6,480 feet up. So we might actually have less performance, although this is a turboprop, so we should be fine. And we have pretty long runway for such a small plane. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's go ahead and switch to tower frequency here. Let's hold short of these lines. I love the interior sounds. As we taxi, as we turn, you hear the shaking in the interior. Very nice. Alright, let's go and request takeoff clearance.
Jackson Tower, Cessna November 1 Charlie Lima, ready at runway 19er, departure to the north.
Cessna November 1 Charlie Lima, altimeter tree 0.19er, wind 19er, niner at 10. Departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
That works.
Cleared for takeoff runway 19er, Cessna 1 Charlie Lima.
Hey Isidore, thanks for the follow, man. The green tag, it is a mod. If you type !mods and go under the miscellaneous section, there should be an item there with the name, something about nameplates. Yeah, there should be a link that can let you download that part. I like it, right? It's a lot less intrusive than the default one, which like screaming at you with the nameplates and everything. Okay, let's go ahead and enter the runway. Rotation speed is 70 knots. Oh, look at that shaking. Good, line it up. I see 19 on the ground. 19 on the heading. Looking good. Alright, let's go and push, but we don't push full. because we have to mind our torque here. So I have to pay close attention to my torque reading in there. Actually, no, I am pushing forward full. Interesting. Is that right? I do have to apply right rudder, because I am noticing that I am moving to the left just a bit, so just a little bit of right rudder in there. 70 knots or so rotation speed, airspeed's alive, keeping it in center line. 70 knots, just ever so subtly. Pitch up, looking good. Keep runway heading. Just tap the brakes, there's no gear to move up, but I guess we can go flaps up. Oh, one thing I forgot, guys, the condition lever. I don't think it had any change, but that's a big no-no. Thankfully it wasn't simulated very well. Oh, there's Merwaz.
Jackson Tower, Cessna November 1 Charlie Lima, continue for north departure.
North departure, so let's turn to the right here. Go to the north. We should have wake turbulence, but I think only in the races. I remember that was discussed in the Q&A, but they mentioned some limitations. I think it's only in the races at the moment. Not quite sure. There it is, guys. Grand Teton National Park. Yeah. It's nice to see we actually have a flight path vector as well for the G1000 NXI now. Very fancy. I like that. I can actually go full throttle with this one. Normally with turboprop planes you don't go full throttle, but maybe it's because we're too high, right? We're 7,000 feet above already. So the air density is lower, the torque, you can't really over torque the engine so much anymore. That might be the main difference. So it's not such an issue. Looking good. Also, I forgot all the things. Oh my goodness, rusty indeed. No landing lights, no strobes. Don't mind me. Yikes. There's the airport. I do want to take a photo here. Look at that lake, guys. That is beautiful. Let's pull back on the throttle here. Maybe let's level off at 8,000 feet for now. $60 for the full package. Wow. But yeah, they include so many planes, right? They released a video on it. Looks super cool, and those are all based on real life planes. They look so different from each other. Fully customized, interior, exterior is completely different. If you're a fan of those races, my goodness, you're in for a treat. Trimming, does it work? I think so. Okay, so just keeping 8,000 in here. Performance is amazing, isn't it? It's silky smooth on my end. Hopefully you guys can see that too. When is it coming out, by the way? Does anyone know? Or do we have a date already? Because I saw an update that I think they are beta testing it now. Okay. Frequency change to what?
Jackson Tower, Cessna November 1 Charlie Lima, frequency change.
There is a center. We could request flight following, but to where? So I don't think we need to really change frequencies. Okay, let's keep it here. I'm trying to trim it out. But so far it looks like we are still going down a bit. Is there a yaw damper now for this plane? Yaw damper, does it work? No, it doesn't seem like it does still. Still doesn't work, looks like. Alright, 8,000 feet. We are trimmed now, more or less. Nice. Okay, good. Let's go ahead, and since we're trimmed, I'll turn on the controller again, okay? That's me. Let's take some photos. beautiful. Get some tilt in. Take a photo. So many lakes, so beautiful. There you go. Yeah, you really have to be trained or in autopilot when you enter drone mode, because by default you won't be able to control the plane. I think there is a key for it to be able to control the plane still while in drone mode, but I just don't want to fiddle it with it that much. Just test something. Oh, there is adverse yaw. There is adverse yaw. So if you look, if I turn rather, if I roll to the right, you'll see the slip indicator, that thing there. Yeah, it's so ideally you want that always to be in the center like this, like a triangle. But if you turn to the left, that moves to the left like that, so you have to apply left rudder. When it moves to the right, you have to apply right rudder. So they call it step on the, well, on the older ones, right? Step on the ball, but it's not the ball anymore, it's a line. Step on the line maybe. So you have to apply right rudder together with the roll, especially when it's abrupt, so that you continue flying in a coordinated manner. Very nice. Very nice. Cool. I do see the prop RPM going red like that. Maybe we have to lessen it a bit. Just a tad. Yeah, so it's still not like fully simulated, right? This plane, it's still more on the casual side of things. Like it flies, it has those basic things, but I was able to take off with low condition lever. But yeah, I've been pretty remiss in the procedures, but it still works. So if you just want to fly, default planes are more than enough. But if you want more accurate, more, as they say, study level or high fidelity, that's a new term these days, then that's when you start looking at third-party planes with more details in them, more implementations, more strict representations of how the plane should work. Look at that reflection, guys. Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Let's take a photo here. A second, I'll get back to chat in a bit. Beautiful. Second, guys, sorry, composing the shot here. Very nice. You run Ultra now with 400 load and still get good frame rates. Oh yeah, that's true. That's one of the things that you can extend to. Yeah, I think I can do that as well, but I'll have to sacrifice a bit of FPS. A lot of people say 30 FPS is more than enough, but I kind of like to keep it at 60. Especially with all the head movements like this. 60, you really feel it when it's less than 60. But yeah, I think I'm sticking to 200 load for now. But maybe offline I'll try the 400. Man, look at those clouds. They are beautiful. And let me have a look at the ceiling that we saw. We saw 4,100 scattered and 12,100 scattered. That does look like 12,000, doesn't it? That does look like 12,000. Good. 45 FPS. There you go. Yes. Yeah. It's an amazing feat, right? The performance improvements they've done since Sim Update 5. It's amazing. And now with this update, they've started patching up the wreck that Sim Update 5 left. Because it did improve performance, but it also destroyed a couple of other things. So glad to see that it's much better now. GPU sounds worse. Yeah, my PC is a bit on the noisy side as well in terms of fans. I have it placed in my lower left on the floor, so it's not that close, but yeah, I do hear it. You know what my solution is? My solution is to wear headphones. So I don't hear the fans anymore. And voila, it's fixed. But yeah, when I'm using my speakers, when I'm just chilling out, I do hear the fans, and it gets a bit it's a bit loud. My loud fans are the case fans, because they can spin up to 2000 plus RPM. Look at that, there's an aircraft there. Looks like the lights are indeed fixed. That is an AI aircraft. You know what, let's tune into center so we can hear the frequencies. You can hear the discussions. 133.25, 3325. Let's go and tune that in. 3325. And then let's just listen in. That's the wrong frequency. 1 second. Thank you.
Cessna 4 Mike Delta traffic in
But
sight.
it's... Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's actually a... Is that a real live traffic plane? Yeah, it looks like they told... Looks like ATC told them about us, and then they just reported that they have us in sight. So this is them, Cessna 4 Mike Delta. They said traffic in sight, so they probably have visibility of us already. Quite cool, quite nice.
Cessna 4 Mike Delta traffic alert. 9 o'clock less than 1 mile, 8,100 feet Cessna Caravan. Report them in sight.
That's us. Even though the card is almost new.
Cessna 4 Mike
You see the
Delta
traffic
in
too?
sight.
You see Mike Delta too? Oh, that's pretty cool. You have live traffic setting? Wow, that is synced. Good test right there. Also, you see, you're getting this as well, Murwaz, on your arrow. I'm getting these like updrafts or winds. That might be some kind of what do you call it? Over the hills here. That is pretty cool. You can actually see the plane kind of tortoising in a bit, or what's the term? Going up and down. Maybe stick to basic terms, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's something that they really got, right? The
435 27 miles northeast.
the updrafts and the
Maintain
downdrafts.
11,000 feet. Expect ILS Yankee runway 19er approach by Delta November Whiskey transition.
Look at how beautiful these trees are, guys. Are we still live? I think my GPU is struggling.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect ILS Yankee runway
So my
19er
stream
approach by
is...
Delta November Whiskey
My
transition.
preview
Clear
is
to Delta
lagging.
November Whiskey flight check
But I think
435.
we shouldn't be... Let me guys know if you're getting frame drops. We shouldn't be. Okay, alright, thanks Alex. Oh my goodness. Now we're sightseeing. Hello, Wyoming. Nice to see it from a very different point of view. We are climbing. Maybe let's try and climb to... let's see. Full throttle. We should climb up on our own. Maybe up to 9,000. Keeping up well with the turbo arrow. Very nice. Where are you now, Murbaz? Let's have a look. There he is. Goodness, those clouds. Did they improve the clouds again? This looks so much better. Sometimes it's just depending on the roll of the clouds. The clouds look different every time. Simply gorgeous. I know, right? For all its quirks, they really made it so beautiful. Yeah, I was actually expecting like a monthly subscription before. when before the sim was released, I was happy with like a monthly subscription. So I really wanted to get it, and all this detail and the satellite images and whatnot, all the server details. 1 second, I think we have some new map options in here. Let's go and play with those a bit. I think that will be useful. Terrain, there you go, relative. So this one tells us if we're going to crash onto something. Maybe that's not the safest approach. Let's go over these mountains. Now I disappeared. Oh, do they still have that issue? 1 second, let me see if I can find you. Yeah, I don't see you either.
Flexjet 435, you are 17 miles northeast of Jackson. Contact Jackson Tower on 118.075 when inbound on the approach.
Man. Maybe let's climb to 11,000. 10,500. Apparently Alan is afraid to fly. Yeah, we don't see a sleeping cat here, huh? That is a good point. Nor a watching dog. There is a plane though. There is actually a plane. Someone made a plane. What was that? Was it the Edgeley Optica or something else? There was a dog. There is a dog in the cockpit, and you can actually change what kind of dog it is. So the plane author must be a dog lover. Very nice to touch. Let's go around here. Now I do want to try the RNAV approach for Jackson Hole, maybe?
Cessna 4 right Delta traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 11,000 feet generic. Report them in sight.
What's the approach speed here? That's a good question. I have no idea. I would guess 90 knots would be a good enough speed. Let's keep our landing lights on here. Man, the mountain looks so good, doesn't it? Sharp at the edges, no rounded edges. And then it looks so different from each and every angle. Over on this side, it's a bit more brownish. Over on the other side, it looks more icy. Very nice. Let's plug in Jackson Hole. Let's see. Amphibious plane. Same class as the Icon A5. Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't tried many amphibious planes. I heard that the water rudders have been improved as well with this update. They've changed how it behaves. That now it should be more responsive. So that was one of the quirks of the water rudder before. You couldn't steer with it unless you had much speed already. So it almost like didn't have any effect. The water rudder was mainly used to steer left and right while you were on the water, while you were with slow speeds. And with it not working in low speeds, it kind of defeated the purpose. Look at the clouds up close, guys. See the ceiling right there, closing in on us. Look at that beautiful layer right there. Oh my goodness. Whew. Man, I missed flying. I haven't flown in a while. I haven't flown since the last stream when we were checking out the what was it? The Yonkers, the U-52. Tante U. So let's go and plug in Jackson Hole. Let me put in this guy in autopilot. 1 second. So go for heading. Go for Altitude. Let me look for the controls. Autopilot controls would be... Oh, it still has that bug. That mouse bug. It's gone, look. Oh, dang it, I have to change the camera. Yeah, it's still there. I thought they fixed it already. Okay. Oh, here it is. I was looking for it here. Okay. Altitude. Select. Maybe let's go for 10,500, right? Let's go and VS our way there. Let's turn on autopilot. Heading mode as well. So heading mode and VS, and let's turn on autopilot right here. That is one of the highlights, one of the strengths of the G1000 NXI. They are using this as the training grounds for the Sims autopilot. Look at the sun, guys, in the clouds. Let's take a photo here. Hey Kevs. Thanks for joining. Gets easily distracted, yes. Shoo. How can you not get distracted with this view? Wow. Yours is an expensive add-on, of course. T6 Texan in the DLC. What kind of plane is that? It behaves nicely now. Okay, nice to hear. The float thing. Slow the game and take off. Yeah. That's the way you want it, and that's the way you set it. That's all good, Tom. It's the way it should be. However you want it to be. So Jackson Hole is right there, I believe. Yeah, that's right there. Okay, Jack. And if we plug in something, if we put in like a direct to, and I should be able to type here, right? If I click that keyboard here, okay, Jack, and then disable the keyboard, Jackson Hole, enter, does that work? And then we can have procedure. There we go. Okay, I do want to check the RNAV, but let's study the chart first. Let's study the chart first. Let me see. Okay. So the ATIS was saying that we should be following an ILS Yankee approach, right? That's the approach in use, ILS Yankee 19er. But I wanted to try an RNAV for this particular one. This is actually might be a good transition for part 2. Switching from the VFR to IFR. Yeah, let's do that. Let's switch to part 2.